What up, everybody? What it do? It's your boy Anderson here with TGB, coming back at you with another TGB Reacts video. And as always, if you like what you see here, you like our content and everything like that, go ahead, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button. And if you would kindly, so a Bioshock for there for you, go ahead and press that subscribe button. It really helps us out over here, and it helps us get back to our community and everything like that. But you can also join in the Discord and be a part of that community. But once again, I'm not your daddy. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. You do you, baby boo. But from there, let's jump on into our react video. See you on the other side. All right, so today we are reacting to how to make Korean army stew. And I've chosen two videos for this actually, which is a little bit of twist on this one. But I've chosen one from MXR Plays with Jeannie and Henry, because they are of, excuse me if I'm not correct with this, but of Asian heritage / descent. And I really want to see how they do it, because back in college I actually did it myself. It was a good way to save buck, and it lasted me for a couple of days, and it got me through what I need to get through. So I actually know how to make it, and it is very much a recipe where you choose what to put into it, you choose what to take out, and work within your means, because it was used on the battlefield for soldiers. So we'll see how this is, and then the next video I have that is queued up right after this to see how someone else makes it. Stay tuned, and then you'll see who I choose for that one. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Alright guys, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to make something from Fallout or Skyrim.
No.
We're going to go back and make something of Jeannie's heritage. The Korean heritage. Today we're making
they're so adorable together.
Oh. Try to say it actually.
Budae-jjigae.
No, like legit. Today we're making.
See, this is exactly why I just called it Korean army stew, because ain't no way in hell I'm pronouncing that name. Oh yeah, I can say that now.
Making budae-jjigae.
Oh, okay. You're close. 부대찌개.
That's what I said.
No, you
Budae-jjigae.
said 부대찌개.
Budae-jjigae.
What's the difference?
부대찌개.
Budae.
Yeah,
You sound like
budae.
This is
whenever
why
you say
English
B,
is the
like
best.
Banchan, it always sounds like panchan.
반찬.
That's a P.
반찬.
You're saying panchan.
No, I'm saying 반찬.
Budae-jjigae, also known as army stew, was eaten by army men during the Korean War when there wasn't enough actual fresh meat available, so it was typically made from canned rations, like Spam, hot dogs, canned beans. These days, Koreans eat it after a long night of drinking.
Alright guys, so as you know, I'm not Korean. Never made this dish before, but the way I
I eat it after a long night of drinking. Look, if I'm drinking that long, I ain't gonna remember how to cook Korean army stew, much less turn on the oven. Not an oven, stove. And much less put all that stuff together. God, if they can do that while drunk, my hat's off to them. Jesus. You go, Koreans. You do you.
I see it is that this dish is it's like customizable, you know. Take some garlic. Alright, so first up we have gochujang. Gochujang. So this is basically the #1 flavoring agent in every single Korean food. It's in everything. It's basically chili paste, right?
Yeah, we put it in our bread, we put it in our omelets, we put it in.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and correct them, because I'm obviously not Korean, so they say it is what it is. But the garlic that you chopped up there, yeah, I was lazy in college, so I did not do half as good a job as that. I usually just did it in chunks and threw it in there. I was like, get the flavor somehow once it simmers down.
Put your coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take about 1 spoonful of this, just like that. And these come in different.
I did a little bit more because
what
I like
level is
spice.
This is 진한 gochujang, so it's just like a very strong pepper paste. No? You don't like it?
That's hot. If that wasn't enough heat for you and enough red chili pepper, we also have coarse red pepper.
고춧가루. Ooh, that looks so good.
That's hot. Here we have some good old-fashioned soy sauce.
I want a spoon. You don't measure it? That's a lot.
That should be good. Stir those ingredients together. That smells hot.
This
It
makes
smells
me like
garlicky.
think of home, like home cooking.
Yeah?
And, like mom cooks.
Not me. I'm not Korean. But it still smells damn good.
Jesus. Yeah, that's very much my home cooking experience and stuff as well. Even on my own, but even back with my family, nothing was measured. You did it by taste and by the love of the food, the heart of the food, or whatever you want to call it.
Look at that rich paste.
Do you want to try?
Really? There's raw garlic in there.
So?
Alright, Jeannie, try it.
It's very spicy.
Yeah,
And we added a bit too much garlic.
It's okay. I love garlic.
Okay, but it's good. Try.
I'm good.
So next we're going to
He's like,
mix
that's too spicy for me.
this. I don't know if there's a proper English term for it. It's called sagolgomtang, but it's beef stock.
It's broth in a bag. For some reason, Koreans put their broth in a bag. Why is that, Jeannie?
Yeah, no, I just use chicken stock.
And so we're gonna add 1-to-1 ratio of water.
Wait,
so I just had an
kinda-
idea. We'll just add the
Hold
water
on.
in here.
Question.
No.
What kind of beef stock is that it's white? I have so many questions.
And so we're gonna add 1-to-1 ratio of water. So I just had an idea. We'll just add the water in here. And that'll be 1-to-1 ratio. Because I was like, how am I gonna measure out cups of
You're a
this?
genius.
It's in my name.
Alright, Jeannie, and then you put in my concoction.
You put in
Right into that
the
broth.
gochujang. I'm actually thinking of adding more, if that's all right with you. So I'm gonna add. Sorry, I'm so distracted. I'm gonna add a bit more gochujang to make this more punchy.
See, me, I actually
Alright, so
added the paste and everything after, like, I did a couple steps.
this happens like every video now. Take a towel, put it on your table. This is gonna stabilize the board. And then, on this board, you're gonna take 1 onion. Cut the end off, have it. Just like that. Oh no. Oh no, we're supposed to be doing it the other way because this is Korean onions.
That's why I was like,
I'm so used to doing that.
This is still salvageable, by the way.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, yeah, you're right, it is. Cut very thin slices.
There you go.
Just like that.
Oh my god. That's...
Oh god. Why can't I look at onions when I cut them, Genie? So not only do we have normal onions, we even have green onions. How do you like those, by
God.
the way? Do you want like diagonal, straight? What do you want?
Diagonal. Wow.
We'll just diagonally cut them because it looks fancier like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't really know what I'm doing, but I feel like this is a thing. Here we have some shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah, I definitely sliced
there's
my
nothing
green
better in
onions
this world than a
thinner for
shiitake
this
mushroom.
recipe.
Can you think of anything better?
Peanut.
You're right. I know like people say you're not supposed to rinse mushrooms, but I do it anyways because it just feels cleaner to me, you know?
Ultimately just dunks it.
It's going into soup anyways. It's gonna soak up a bunch of soup. Don't you like the sound that they make when you cut them? Like listen to this, Jeannie. Listen to that.
But when you take off the stem, it's like really savage.
Do you want to keep a stem then?
No. Try taking it off. Like, oh my god.
So you can do this many ways. You can sliver it like this.
Yeah, that's what I like.
It's completely, you can keep it like half like this. You can quarter it. Ta-da!
Conglomeration of whole and sliced mushroom.
I want to
That's
see
not
what else
the
they
only
do with
mushroom
it.
we have, fellas. We even have the legendary enoki mushroom. So just cut the end off. Gone. There it is. Enoki mushroom. That's all you have to do.
It's so simple.
Yeah. You want to rinse this though?
Yeah. That's highly uncomfortable.
And finally, we have our silken tofu.
Okay, this is where I differ in it because, you know, I don't do tofu. Also, the mushrooms and stuff like that, the shiitake mushrooms, if I actually had a budget for it and I was actually able to buy them at where I was living at the time in college, where there was a local Vietnamese/Korean grocery store, I would go in there and get them. What I would do is I would cut them up into slices. Well, actually, first, what I would do is I would take them out of the package, take the stems off, and then put them in a bowl, bring a pot of water to boil, and then pour the water over them. And I let it sit there for a second. Then I take the mushrooms out and then cut them up and everything like that. But I would have a mushroom broth to add into the soup, along with the chicken stock.
Ooh, this one's a gusher.
Ew.
Gushes.
Ew.
Look at that. Like, ooh.
Oh god.
This is gushing, Genie, everywhere.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, instead of tofu, I just use Spam.
He's on a spree right now. Oh.
Ew.
So now we're gonna put this all in the pot. The tofu family has some beef with the enoki mushroom family. They're like, this is our turn. And then Tofu's like, oh yeah? I'm bringing reinforcements as backup. And then Enoki's like, oh no, what do I do? And then Brother Shiitake comes in like, don't worry, I fortify you.
Alright, so here's the beauty of this dish, right? You can use things that you have. Like, for example, hot dogs. I mean, we have some Korean Vienna sausages. But technically, you can use hot dogs, right? We also have Spam. Just
Hey,
Spam.
there it is. Oh wow,
It's
they're
just-
putting a lot
it's
more
just freaking
stuff into
Spam.
it than I usually do. Sir. Sir, that is too thick of a Spam slice to
You can tell
fry.
Henry is very amused by food sounds.
Gently place the Spam inside. Just
Oh,
like that.
they're not even frying
Then we
it.
got some sausages. Now you can just put them in whole, but if you're fancy, you can like cut them in different shapes and stuff. You know, have fun with this dish, guys.
What is that?
Kimchi-da, kimchi-da,
Oh, kimchi.
do-do-do-do,
Yeah, I'd never put this in mine.
The staple of every Korean's. Oh, there she goes.
Oh.
This is freshly made at our Korean grocery store. They make these fresh on the spot. Can I try some?
No.
Okay. The lighter it is, the better it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you and I like
Yeah, I've seen that in my like I said, the Vietnamese Korean store grocery store that I went to, but I never bought it because I bought it once, tried it, and I did not like it. So maybe it's an acquired taste. Maybe it's like a heritage thing, or like you grow up with it. But for me, I never could get with it.
less
Because it
fermented.
means fresher.
They're fresh.
That kimchi juice is gonna add all kinds of flavor.
All kinds.
Add some kimchi sauce for extra flavoring. Oh, my god. Oh, Jesus.
That'll be
I just
so
use
good.
I
And
literally
then
use
we're going
Tappy
to
Towel.
add soybean sprouts. In Korean, it's 콩나물.
Again, this is all.
Ooh, those are good. I love some soybean sprouts. Oh my god. Especially when I do like dishes like this, or even if I go out and I get like pho from like a Vietnamese restaurant. I fucking love I love sprouts. There we go. I'll just say that.
No, you don't need this, right?
I think it's necessary.
Dude, you're supposed to say it's optional.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's optional. My favorite part, we're going to add sliced rice cakes.
Huh?
Tteokbokki.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my god.
It's gonna be heavy.
Yeah, that's heavy as fuck.
Oh god.
And like some of the ingredients in there, you didn't even fry up or cook beforehand, so
Cover
it's
this
all gonna have
and
to
let
cook.
boil for about 8 minutes. Alright guys, there's one last very important ingredient. Here in the secret closet, Jeannie.
I feel like
we
it's
have-
seaweed.
You have to wonder, why does he keep?
'Cause I've
food
seen that
in
done
his
before.
closet?
We have Shin Ramen!
Oh no, okay.
Cancer noodles are back!
This is my lifeblood. I'm not even Korean. If there's one thing you must have in a budae-jjigae, it has to be Shin Ramen. And we're gonna ditch the seasoning packets.
Do you smell that?
Oh, that smells delicious.
You
Jeannie.
break it.
And then you
Break
kind
it
of
into four.
Oh.
You break it into four and place them in the four corners of the earth. So in the
the different camps, the different armies.
yeah.
One goes into the Spam army, and then one goes into the Tofu army.
The four corners of the world are complete. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing,
And
guys.
then, we lied, that wasn't the last ingredient. The last ingredient, where's the knife? The last ingredient, cheap
Yeah.
processed cheese.
Let's go.
The cheaper it is, and the more processed it is, the better. Put it on the
He's
four
right.
corners of
Literally
the
just
earth.
Really just get some crass
Of
singles.
the four corners of the earth.
Just like that.
Wow! And this is gonna melt and just be amazing. So we're
Turn
gonna let
into
that
the most
cook.
delicious concoction in the world, guys.
Oh my god.
You guys don't know what you're in store for.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
This is the greatest Korean dish ever. No? Do you
Yes.
agree? Yes. Yes.
I agree.
It is.
It is!
Ready for the most glorious thing you've ever seen?
Whoa!
That's a beauty,
That
Genie.
looks amazing.
You.
That's a view. Yeah.
And they're all so soaked and cooked.
Ooh. We're gonna move this over to the TV because that's where we're gonna eat it at. We're gonna watch some Netflix.
That's gonna be heavy as fuck, my man.
Going to the gym. Oh my god, that's freaking holy god, that's heavy.
Please don't spill. Please don't spill.
Oh my god.
Please don't spill. Please don't spill. Please don't spill.
Gee, it's like a mukbang. Let's go for the noodles, Genie.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
Skirt.
Here we go. Spicy. Got a kick. I love it.
Oh, that's so good. That's crazy, Genie.
Eat a spam.
I actually don't even like Spam, but
You might need to chop it up.
it's so weird.
Oh my god, it would have been so much better if it was fried, but I'm gonna leave that alone. We're gonna move on to the next video because now they're just giving their opinions and stuff like that on it, which I'm in a react video, so that's kind of my job. But yeah, the way they did it, respectable. I understand it. Me personally, I would leave out the tofu, rice cakes, and everything else could pretty much stay. Because what I'd done with mine was use hot dogs, Spam, and if I was fancy enough or had enough money, I would put in some, what is it called? Like I would slice up some chicken. But the difference is I would fry my Spam, hot dogs, and chicken beforehand, then put them in. Because I like that extra crisp, like I wouldn't say crunchy, but like crisp texture. But anyway, from here, let's go to the next one. With good old boy, Joshua Wiseman. I hope I'm saying his name right. I do not know. But I want to see his take on it because he just did one. And I believe this one, yes, premiered earlier this year. I want to see his take on it. So let's hop right into this. All right.
Josh, I'm a college student. I can't afford this and make that. Well, that's what this stew is for. It has class and history, it costs this much, and it utilizes the dietary composition of a college student. That is but cheaper.
Okay, first of all, let me go back here.
Make that? Well, that's what this stew is for. It has class and history, it costs this much.
$2.18 per serving, 6 large servings. So about 12, then we give it about $13, $14. Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. Like you could blow a 20 solidly on this stuff, barring like the authentic like gochujang or whatever the paste was and stuff like that, and tofu and all that stuff. So yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
And it utilizes the dietary composition of a college student. That is but cheaper.
God, I love Joshua. Don't get me wrong, I love Henry and Jenny too from MXR Plays, but Joshua just makes it look so good.
Okay, now listen up. This isn't just about college students, obviously. I just wanted to use that as a caveat to the point that it utilizes two of the main sort of dietary choices of a college student. That's American cheese and ramen noodles. There you go. You see, this is a dish that was created during wartime. Amazing flavors emerged. They utilized what they had, and what those things were like Spam, hot dogs, ramen, American cheese. It almost feels like a college student meal, and it's cheap. And this is but cheaper, so let's make this, shall we?
I'm gonna make this very simple. Follow this recipe first, but understand that many of these beautiful ingredients can be changed to suit your wallet or preference. It's very much of a use what you've got soup. Let's start by making our soup base. Combine 2 tablespoons or 35 grams of gochujang. Find this stuff at most grocery stores. 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of white distilled vinegar. 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of soy sauce. A small splash, big splash, of shirdashi, which is totally optional by the way. Finally, chop 4 cloves of
I
peeled.
was about to say the shirdashi. Yeah, I'd never used that. I used the soy sauce and the vinegar, but never that. Like, yeah, completely optional. Like, keep in mind, this is a meal for people in the field of war or on the battlefield, making this in a moment's notice with what they had around them, what was in their rations and stuff like that. And sometimes what they could scavenge.
Peeled garlic, whisk together your base, then stir in your garlic along with 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of granulated sugar and an optional 2.5 teaspoons or 10 grams of Korean chili flakes, mostly for color. Mix it together and that's your base. Now here we have some lovely dried shiitake mushrooms. Get 2 ounces or 55 grams of those guys, place them in a medium-sized bowl, add 1.5 cups or 350 milliliters of filtered water to
so
a
you're using my
saucepan,
method.
bring it up to a boil and then pour that hot liquid all.
Only difference is that when I'm doing this, I usually take the stems off beforehand. But I mean, either or. I bet he's gonna take them off afterwards anyway.
Over your mushrooms. Cover so they're completely submerged, then let them sit and rehydrate for about 12 minutes or till soft, cuddly, and sweet, or just soft. Then remove them from the liquid, wring them out so the liquid falls back into the mushroom stock that you just made. Remove their stems and slice them up nice and evenly. Set to the side. Now let's talk about our meat, alright? You can use really any meat, but to keep things consistent with this dish's history, you'll need 1 can of Spam. Yes, Spam. Wield its power with honor. And half
Honestly,
a pound or
though.
55 grams of smoked sausage like andouille. Slice
Nope,
the Spam
I was
into
poor, so I used hot
slices
dogs.
that are about half an inch thick. Do the same with your sausage, although I like to cut on a slight bias so you get some sort of nice diagonal shapes. Get yourself a large pot or deep brazier, heat it over medium-high heat until ripping hot.
he's
And yes,
thick,
notice how the
boy.
surface is drier than the Mojave? Well, that's cool because our Spam will render out its own fat. So toss your Spam in, sear it in a single layer for about 2 to 3 minutes or until
I
it's
like
nice
my
and brown.
Spam a little
Flip
thicker, but
and
yeah, he's
sear
got the
for
right
same
idea.
amount of time. Repeat with the rest of your Spam, making sure not to overcrowd the pan. Then once that's
I
done,
speak as a
sear your
country
sausage
boy.
in the same way. Let it get color for 2 to 3 minutes, flip, and sear the other side. You get the point. Now that we have our brown meats looking juicy and loosey-goosey, we're ready to finish this thing. There should be plenty of oil in the pan, but if not, add a little bit to coat the bottom, reduce the heat to medium, then add 1 bunch of green onions that have been thinly sliced, half a pound or 225 grams of button mushrooms which have also been thinly sliced. Observe the speed. Thank you so much. Let those saute for a minute or two, then add 3/4 of a cup or 125 grams of kimchi that's been roughly chopped nicely. Stir that in and let it saute for another minute. Now as soon as the mushrooms begin to soften, add in your sauce base you made earlier. Let that cook, stirring occasionally for about 2 minutes or until the bottom of the pan begins to
See, I
dry a
never
little
used
bit.
kimchi,
Then from there,
so
add 3 cups or 700 milliliters of chicken stock, your mushroom stock from earlier, give that a stir with a spoon, scraping off any extra bits left at the bottom. Turn the heat to medium-high, bring it up to a boil, then immediately reduce to low, and let that lightly simmer for about 2 minutes or just until the mushrooms are cooked through. Now this is where things get interesting. You'll need 2 packages of instant ramen
I've
noodles.
literally
Pick your
used
favorite,
just
you know,
Martian
it's up to you.
ramen
I like the
packets.
ones with the little round pucks. These
Shin
cute,
ramen
you know,
is
save your
fucking
flavor
amazing,
packet for
but
something else. I don't know.
sometimes you ain't just got
Thank
you just ain't got the
We
money.
really want those sweet nudes, my dude. While that's simmering, slowly lower in your noodles. Get them pressed and lightly submerged in the soup. Top it with a lid and let that cook for 3 to 4 minutes or whatever the package directions say to cook said nudes. Once they're cooked through, take off your lid and make this thing look beautiful by first arranging on your beautiful seared Spam, some of that sliced smoky sausage, your rehydrated shiitake mushrooms. Get creative about the placement of this stuff. It should be fun. Now the piece de resistance. You ready for this? 2 slices of American cheese. Yes, this is tradition for this dish. You can exclude it, but I'm telling you, it really makes the soup. In no other circumstance would Papa allow this. Anyway, top it with your lid again and let it very gently simmer for another 2 minutes or until the meats are hot and the cheese is melted. Once that's done, remove it from the heat, hit it with a generous amount of very thinly sliced green onions, and serve immediately. Now, if you've never had this before, prepare.
Okay, so I would say, yeah, it's kind of how I do it, except for the kimchi and the green onions. I wouldn't do them as like a garnish or anything. I would just dump them in there, and then also I would have the bean sprouts and maybe another vegetable. Like usually I would put in like what do I usually put in? I put in bean sprouts. I put in the mushrooms, of course, some green onions and regular onion. Yeah, that's what it was. He didn't do that in this one, but I mean, it's still pretty relatively close to what I do when I make this.
For one of the greatest soup experiences of your life. I'm talking eyes rolling in the back of the head, you're sweating because you're eating so fast type good. Don't believe me? Observe.
Wow, this is just an incredible thing, is it not? I mean, look at this. Look at this! Look at it! You might be thinking, chicken stock and a little gochujang and you just throw stuff together. How could it taste, right?
It tastes pretty fucking good.
I'm tired of the whole, like, people taking their instant ramen, boiling it, the stupid little flavor pack. I understand. It's effort. There's a reward when it comes to effort. This is low effort. It's incredibly flavorful, rich, umami, fatty, soul-warming, and it has history, and it's cheap.
Okay, I will agree. I will agree to disagree on that. I understand the effort there's a reward at the end, especially when it comes to cooking and stuff like that. But all my people out there, sometimes you just ain't got the time to make something like this, or even like something like that will taste really fucking good but takes a whole lot of prep time. Sometimes you just ain't got the time. Unless you're like Gordon Ramsay, then you can probably do it in like a split second and anything and just let it cook. But like for regular people out there, nah. So yeah, if you if you gotta do an instant ramen pack and just throw it in the cooktop up top of the stove, let it boil, put in the flavor pack, and that's your dinner, I completely understand. I've done it. I even put in water into an instant ramen cup and threw it in the microwave for 3 minutes, and I was just like, "Yep, that's good." And people were like, "It causes you cancer and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, that's all good and all, but this is my dinner before I go out for another shift." So I completely understand either or ways.
I think you get where I'm going, and that is the but cheaper route.
Oh yeah, don't
Wanna know
worry,
what
it's
else
definitely gonna be
contains
spicy.
Steamy nudes and salty spam.
Ooh,
B-roll.
yeah. Ooh, give it to me.
Alright guys, and that is it. So we made our Korean army stew. Amazing.
Okay, so I'll leave it right there. But like I said, this is an amazing recipe. I mean, if we can even call it a recipe, because it's literally just throw a bunch of shit together and be like, "Yep, that's dinner," and that's dinner for the next like couple of days. I mean, it is amazing, totally worth it. Spicy, flavorful. You'll get your money's worth out of it, and it's cheap to make. Like you don't have to throw in everything that either Joshua or Henry and Jeannie, or even like I said I do. You don't have to throw everything like that in there. Shit, you can just throw in like spam and then like, I don't know, lettuce, and it'll be fine. It's an army stew. Don't make it complicated. Just throw it in, cook it up, and be ready to enjoy your meal real quick. But yeah, so with that, that's about it. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.